Hello there everyone, welcome back to Press for Truth TV. Today is Friday, October 26, 2012, and we're now just 10 days away from the release of our new film, The Turning Point, which documents the Bilderberg group, and we're getting very excited for the release of that film. And right around a week from now, I will be making that available to download for you, the PressForTruth.tv subscribers, so you can stay tuned for that coming up next week. Also, today we just released our latest video report called the Prorogation of Parliament, where we break down what it means, what happens when Parliament is prorogued, and who benefits from this. And I think one of the important things to remember in all of it is that not even somebody like Prime Minister Stephen Harper can prorogue the provincial parliament. He has to get permission from the Governor General. And it's the Governor General and the Lieutenant Governor who have the power to just stop the parliamentary sessions here in Canada. And the important thing to remember about that is that these people are not elected by the Canadian people. Those positions are appointed. So somebody like the Governor General of Canada is essentially above the Prime Minister, Stephen Harper. He has to go to the Governor General to get permission in order to prorogue Parliament. So this really amounts to more of a dictatorship than any kind of a democracy. And as we are seeing, and as we tried to show in this video, our so-called democratic process is completely being manipulated through the use of proroguing parliamentary sessions, and our public figures, our political leaders, have been using it as a way to basically get out of various scandals and shutting down certain bills that are on the table that might be beneficial to Canadians. They can just simply squash them all just like that, simply by proroguing the House. So anyways, when you get a chance, you can check that one out. It's our latest video. You'll find it in the video report section today. And other than that, one other thing I wanted to talk about today is a new article that just came out from the CBC in regards to the LIBOR scandal. Now, I'm sure many of you will recall this was a huge story that broke that showed how these major banks were manipulating their numbers when submitting to LIBOR, which sets the global interest rates. And I remember Barclays Bank, I believe it was, ended up having to spend hundreds of millions of dollars in a legal settlement because of they got caught manipulating their numbers. Well, now it's come out that the Royal Bank of Canada may also be involved and have to face justice for manipulating the numbers as well. Here's a recent article from RBC on that, or CBC News rather. Royal Bank subpoenaed in LIBOR probe. There are reports that Royal Bank of Canada has been served with a subpoena from the U.S. state officials as part of their probe into the possible manipulation of a key benchmark used to set interest rates. The Wall Street Journal and other business publications report the subpoenas were issued to 9 banks, including RBC, in August and September, according to an unidentified person familiar with the investigation. That brings to 16 the number of banks served with subpoenas, including 7 that had become public earlier. The U.S. investigation by the New York and Connecticut Attorneys General is part of a wider probe in several countries that stems from a major UK bank's admission that it had provided false information used to set the LIBOR rate. RBC is Canada's largest bank, with operations in major financial centers around the world, including London. The bank said last summer that it followed the rules in submitting information for compiling the London Interbank Offered Rate, which is used widely as a benchmark to set interest rates on business and consumer debts. That assurance was repeated Friday in RBC's response to the news reports. We have determined that our LIBOR submissions reflected our cost of funds, said Gillian McArdle, head of the Communications for Canada at RBC Capital Markets. The rate is set by gathering information from a small number of large banks using a system that's intended to prevent any one member of the group from manipulating the rate. Questions about how LIBOR is operated arose after Barclays Bank agreed to pay a record $450 million fine to settle allegations that its traders had manipulated submissions to LIBOR. While Barclays' actions by themselves were probably insufficient to affect LIBOR, their authorities in Britain and elsewhere have launched probes to see if it was a more widespread problem. Canada's Competition Bureau and other Canadian regulatory bodies have launched their own probes in light of Barclays' revelations, but there have been no allegations leveled against RBC. So whether or not these subpoenas will amount to anything, and RBC having to, I suppose, open up their books and just show exactly what their numbers were is regards to what they've been submitting to LIBOR, we'll have to wait and see, but I certainly would not be surprised if RBC was involved in the scandal. Let's not forget that the current president and CEO of Royal Bank of Canada is Gordan Nixon, who just so happens to be a member of the Bilderberg group. So again, that should be setting off a red flag in your mind to say that it's likely that these guys are certainly involved in the scandal. So we'll have to pay attention to this one as it develops. And anyways, guys, just something I wanted to bring to your attention today. And that's all for today. Once again, you can check out the new videos in the video reports section. And other than that, I hope you all have a great weekend. And I'll see everyone right back here at pressfortruth.tv on Monday. Take care.